Stay tuned and let's check out the Marvel Legends Disney Plus Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure wave, Miss Marvel. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember, you can now hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today, we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Disney Plus Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure wave, Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel. Now, if it feels like we've got this figure a few times already, that is just because the live action version in the MCU did a great job of capturing her comic book look, as it does look super familiar. But that, again, testament to the show. I think it looks great, definitely a little bit more glossy, but I'll do some comparisons as we go through. In regards to the character itself, the show wasn't my top 5 by any means, but I do look forward to seeing her interact with more characters in the MCU moving forward. We know she's going to be in the Marvels as well. So yeah, like the character, the figure looks nice. She comes packed with the biggest piece for the Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure. You can even see the big red cape in the back there. And she has an interchangeable set of fisted hands. So no effect pieces to demonstrate Miss Marvel's abilities on the shelf, which is a shame, but maybe we can do some swaps. We'll find out. We got the logo on the front, picture of her on the side, that same image on the back showing off her ability. It would have been good to see like a clear plastic overlay maybe at least, but we shall see what they do for Miss Marvel in the Marvels. We get a write-up that reads, Kamala Khan is 16 years old, good at school and bad at fitting in. But when she unexpectedly develops superpowers, she'll learn that what makes her different makes her powerful. And then, as always, you get a list of all the figures in this wave you need to complete the Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure. Today we're reviewing Miss Marvel. So as I said, like the character, always happy to add new characters to our MCU collections, even though she does look familiar. Let's get her open. Here we have Kamala out of the packaging with all of her accessories. And I say all, where basically she comes with the biggest Build-A-Figure piece and not much else. So there we have the torso for the Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure. You know what to do. Subscribe to the channel and come back, as we will build him and review him last. I'll move him to the side today. And as you can see, Kamala herself doesn't really come with anything apart from a set of interchangeable fisted hands. That is sometimes the sacrifice you make when it comes with big Build-A-Figure pieces, but it's also a shame for the character, as it would have been great to have an interchangeable head without the mask so we can see the actress's likeness a little bit better, and some effect pieces as well to have a more dynamic pose on a display or photography or whatever. But overall, the figure does look nice. Again, a little bit more metallic and shiny compared to the previous versions, but again, it's accurate to the show, and it's completely pinless as well, so it is all new. Again, it seems very familiar, but a lot of new here rather than reuse. So I'll do some comparisons, but first, let's zoom in. Starting at the face sculpt, I think they've done a great job here using that 3D digital face printing tech. It looks really nice. Nice clean eyes, glossy lips, and the blue metallic mask has that same sort of shine as the rest of the body does as well. So that matches really well. The hair is a new piece as well. Nicely sculpted all the way around, over the shoulders, over the back here as well. And as you can see, there is no paint detail in it, but as the light hits it, you can see the sort of unique sculpting. Now, in regards to the actress's likeness, I'm just not super familiar with her. I've only seen her in Miss Marvel. Now, does this look like Miss Marvel? Yes, of course it does. But does it look like the actress? I don't know. I do think the mask is doing a great job at hiding her identity, but you'll have to let me know in the comments below. Do you think it actually looks like the actress's likeness? It's good enough for me anyway, because again, it's a new character. I'm not super familiar with her, and overall, it looks decent. In regards to the rest of the uniform, you can say the exact same thing if it will focus. It's got that same metallic sort of shine, and this is all like piping sculpt work. If you touch this, you can feel all this sculpted ridges to show the sort of lightning bolt down here, even the bit of purple to the blue, and then the gold has got a bit of a green tint to it with a red line as well. Same onto the arms, you can see that blue piping, and hopefully you can see the actual texture on the arms. Now, I might have said earlier these are double jointed. They're not. They're single jointed female elbows, which is usually the case when it makes them pinless, of course. But you do get a better look at the bangle, which is obviously in the show. That's what sort of unlocks her ability. She doesn't have it on the other arm. Again, you can see that blue piping, that same metallic that matches the chest, and then the sort of textured touch on the arm all the way around. There is a cut here on the side of the sort of dress, which will allow for some articulation, but it is soft enough that you can get it up anyway. So yeah, you can see the sort of thigh cut under there as well, but the knees are double jointed and they are pinless, so they are definitely brand new. She can kick her own ass all day long. She's got these like glossy red leggings that go all the way down to her shoes, and then the shoes are nicely done with the red and then the white laces. So yeah, it does look really good. Does look really nice. Does look like what we see on the actual live action show, and that is the purpose of the action figure. She's got this sort of scarf, which is a sort of more of a flatter plastic red, and if I move the hair out the way, you can see that there it's a separate piece, and it's sort of, the hair sort of hinders the articulation a little bit, but you do still have some articulation there, as she has a sort of ball joint in the neck and in the head, so you can utilize some. It's just that the scarf and hair will limit that, but overall looking really nice. The arms will go all the way up, of course, as already said, single jointed elbow, no waist cut. As you can see, she's got this sort of dress piece, but you get that diaphragm ball joint, so you get your swivel up top and a little bit of forward, not a lot though, more so back, but not a lot at all forward. As I said, you've seen the legs, what they can do, sort of standard female Marvel Legends articulation, but in regards to likeness to the show, I think they've done a good job. Out of the box, she has a set of gripping hands, but nothing to hold, of course. And she has a set of fisted hands. And as you know, that is it. Nothing else. It would have been great to have like maybe a translucent plastic overlay that sort of goes over the arm to give her abilities from the show. That definitely seems like something they could have done, but a missed opportunity. Maybe in the future. And before we move on, I just wanted to confirm that you can bend the legs and the skirt piece will move out the way. It's a soft enough plastic, so you can get her into some much more dynamic poses for a display or some pictures. It isn't sort of like a traffic light cone. You'd assume that's like a traffic cone effect, but you can see it will bend out the way, and it has got that cut in it as well. So yeah, the legs are nicely done. They're nice and thick. It's just that she's got little feet, so she will struggle to stand at times, but you can get her in some nice poses. Better than mine. And here we have our Marvel Legends Kamala Khan Miss Marvel comparison. And as I mentioned earlier, we have 3 different forms of media here, as we have comic, live action, and Gamerverse, all different. Now, granted, the comic and the Gamerverse are very similar. A lot of reuse. The difference is mainly the boots. And of course, I've got the interchangeable hands on. And I did want to try those interchangeable hands on the MCU version. But then I thought, why? Like, I don't want to risk breaking my figure to use a display piece that I'd never use, because in the actual live action show, she doesn't have her abilities the same way. She represents them a little bit differently. She has the energy effects rather than just like elongated arms and fists. So I'm not even going to bother. But as you can see, the live action version is taller and there is no reuse. It looks super familiar. It looks like there should be reuse. Now, maybe the scarf is reuse, maybe. Or maybe not, maybe the scarf, I don't know, I cannot tell for sure. You can let me know in the comments if you've done that investigation. But in regards to the actual figure, they look super familiar, but this MCU version is all brand new, at least compared to these Miss Marvels. And better. Now, of course, we know where Kamala is going to show her face next. It is in the Captain Marvel sequel, The Marvels. So here we have Kamala Khan compared to 2 versions of Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel. And as you can see, Kamala is heavily inspired by Captain Marvel, as they basically have the exact same colour palette with the metallic blues and the reds and the golds. And yeah, she is heavily inspired by her favourite superhero. I am looking forward to seeing these 2 interact in live action as well. We did get a glimpse of Carol in her bedroom, so have they changed abilities? Have they swapped places? Who knows? But let me bring in the Endgame version of Captain Marvel as well. I don't like this Karen haircut style. I know it's accurate to the comics, Civil War II era, but I'm not a fan myself. I do like the actual costume, but just not the hairstyle. So hopefully she's grew her hair back for the future of the MCU. Bringing in some Phase 4 females. Here we have America Chavez, Miss Marvel, and Kate Bishop. Now, I assume Kate is a little bit older than the other 2, so it would make sense for her to be a little bit taller, but they all still young and maybe will be part of the Young Avengers one day. Who knows? But they are all brand new characters we have gotten for the first time, not only in live action, but also in figure form, at least their live action counterparts anyway. I think we've got at least 2 of these in comic forms. But yeah, they look great together. Look forward to the future of the MCU and where they show their faces again. Are we potentially looking at 3 new members of the Avengers? Only time will tell, but here we have 3 Phase 4 characters all the same, with Shang-Chi, Miss Marvel, and She-Hulk. They look great. Here we have 2 more figures from this very Disney Plus Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure wave with Moon Knight and Hawkeye. And as always, let's end with some comic figures. Here we have Frogman, Tigra, and White Rabbit. And last but absolutely never least, here we have Captain Britain and Hal, Fire, Hank. That pesky rabbit, gotta watch out for that one. Here we have our final thoughts on the Marvel Legends Disney Plus Infinity Ultron Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel. Now, as I said, it looked like it was a lot of reuse, but nope, it's all brand new to represent this character in live action for the first time. And I am always happy to add new characters to our ever-expanding MCU collection. And I did like Miss Marvel. I just look forward to seeing her interact in the movies with some more well-known characters. I know they filmed something for like a cruise ship, and there's some footage going around of her interacting with like Captain America Sam Wilson and Captain Marvel, and that looked pretty fun, as she is basically the fan that we all are, but just in the MCU. So it's nice to have her in figure form. I do think the figure looks great. I do think, however, it does lack accessories and does make the figure a little bit lackluster, as if we had some display pieces here to really show off her abilities, it would make it a lot more dynamic and bring this character to life on the shelf. Otherwise, it's just nice to have her represented in plastic to add her amongst the crew. But some effect pieces would have really made a difference for photos, photography, and just for your overall display. But that's just me. You let me know what you think in the comments below, as always. And if you like Marvel Legends, then you're in the right place. Check out the videos tab, find the playlists, but most importantly, please, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, don't miss out on the video, and please, hit that join button, become a channel member, either show some love, join the members club. Much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And don't be shy, tweet me. I'm on Twitter at Dan Who Reviews. And until then, people, my name is Dan W. And I will, of course, see you on the next one.